Berserk Boy is a semi-challenging and precision-focused action platformer that's pretty freaking fun, even if I died over and over and over again. Featuring a cast of over-the-top Saturday morning cartoon villains and a main character with some pretty dope-looking costume changes, Berserk Boy is a satisfying adventure for platformer fans everywhere. Hey there, I'm CGDannyB, and you're watching my review of Berserk Boy on the PC. But before we get started, I want to thank the team behind Berserk Boy for providing me an early copy of the game so I can review it for you today. And please, don't forget to hit that like button, otherwise the mad scientist is going to take over the world and you'll no longer be able to play video games. So don't be a fool, like the video. Now, let's talk about Berserk Boy. Set in the distant future, the mad scientist Genos aims to enslave the Earth and its people by using his army of darkness. And it's up to our hero Kai and the power of the Resistance to save all of humanity from the evil Dr. Genos. Now Kai's just a rookie within the Resistance, but he has the power to transform himself using the power of these mysterious orbs. There's just one problem. Each orb is currently being possessed by a different member of the villain's army. So Kai's gonna have to fight his way through legions of enemy robots to defeat every leader of the villain army, unlock every berserk power, and save the Earth. Oh, and there's also this little bird friend you have named Fiori, who looks way more adorable in the game than he does on the title screen art, but hey, we still love him either way. So like I mentioned before, Berserk Boy is an action platformer that has a heavy focus on precision and accuracy. The game is definitely difficult, but it does give you some leniency of dying a bunch. You won't get a game over screen or run out of lives, but just know when you do finish the level, you're going to be deducted points for each death that you had. I've had some pretty good runs, and I've definitely had some really bad ones. Berserk Boy is separated into various sets of levels, each based on the element or surrounding of the power orb that you're trying to collect. Now Berserk Boy isn't exactly a Metroidvania, but each level does have Metroidvania elements. You'll come across these teleporters along your way that not only save your collectibles, but also give you access to, guess what? Teleporting! Now I found that a majority of the levels you'll just treat these as checkpoints, where you'll just continue past them to reach the end of the level. However, sometimes you'll reach levels that will require you to travel between these teleporters to open up new paths and return to previous locations. And that's really it for the Metroidvania part of it. Outside of you having to go back to find collectibles, you won't be locked out of completing a level just because you don't have a certain power up. Each level stands as its own contained experience that you can complete independently from the rest of the game. So for example, some levels will have you start with a locked door that'll have you reach the boss area. So you're gonna have to go the opposite way to unlock that door and then reach the end of it. And then of course, as you unlock new powers, you can return to these previous levels to find new areas that you couldn't reach before. Sometimes you'll find badges that you need to make progress later in the game, and other times you'll find kidnap resistance members that'll help boost your numbers. And then each level has its very own set of unique and original challenges to make them stand out from the other areas. Sometimes it'll be wave riding, other times you'll be flying with a laser gun, or there's even these cool cannon-like things that you'll have to rapidly snap between, trying not to blast yourself off the map. Which trust me, I did a lot. Every now and again, I did find myself getting a little bit lost, solely because there are these walls that you have to dig through. And honestly, I just didn't see them sometimes. And it would make me think that I just hit a dead end. So unless I accidentally had too much momentum and flew into it by accident, I would get lost for a minute or two from time to time. But ultimately, this is more of just a minor annoyance and anything to complain about, so just keep your eyes open for that. Now, let's talk about those dope-ass powers that Kai's got. At the very beginning of the game, Kai pulls a heroic feat to save his friend, and accidentally unlocks his first power, the electric ability. Which was my personal favorite because it gives you awesome speed capabilities and this dope-ass combo of slamming into enemies, charging yourself up, and then unleashing a devastating electrical blast. And that was basically the only thing I did all game. Well, not the only thing, I needed other powers, but if I could, I was electrocuting people. Now as you progress through certain areas and reach the boss of each area, you'll defeat them to unlock one of 6 new power orbs. Each orb not only provides you with a different element for Kai to transform into, but also a new moveset for combat and traversal. One may allow you to hang from moving platforms and unlock electrified gates, while another will literally just let you fly around the level. Just be sure to keep track of your energy gauge, or else, yeah, you're gonna fall. Each set of levels is almost like a tutorial for you to learn how to use your new skills. And once you make it through the 3rd level of each set and find that next boss, you have to take all the skills that you just learned and figure out how to defeat them. And then each one of those boss encounters will give you a small sample of what your new skills are going to be, seeing what your new ultimate abilities, traversal options, or even just combos are going to be. During some of these battles, I even sat back and realized what some of these powers would be, and remember sections of the map that these skills would totally help me out with. But first I had to figure out how to earn these powers for myself. And with the exception of maybe one of these bosses, none of these leaders went down without a fight. They really required me to take my time to learn these movesets and figure out which power or combination of powers was going to suit this encounter the best, allowing me to come out on top with a shiny new power suit. And come on, look at these suits. How do you not want to get them all? So when it comes to switching between skills, there's a couple ways to do it. You can either hold a dedicated button that brings up a weapon wheel of sorts that'll freeze time and allow you to swap between skills on the fly, or you can just hit one of the bumpers to switch between them in a particular cycle. And typically, if you need to switch between skills rapidly, the map has these little power stations that when you pass through them will immediately transform you into the skill that you need for the upcoming area. As you get your new skills throughout the game, there's this cute little old lady in your resistance base that'll sell you power-ups for each orb, giving you more attacks, new supers, extended combos, more health, and a laundry list of other things. Then it's back to your commander to pick your next location and take on your next level. These days, it's nearly impossible to pull up a digital storefront in search of a new indie game and not find yourself staring at some kind of platformer. Be that a roguelike, a Metroidvania, or whatever other genre you want. I say this just to point out that there's a lot of stuff to play. Now, at the end of the day, would I recommend Berserk Boy to anybody who loves the good old challenging platformer? Yes! Yes, I would. Berserk Boy has an enjoyable gameplay loop, dope-ass power-ups, and unique level designs from start to finish. I know it isn't the most standout title available right now, especially in a month like this where there is a butt-ton of indie games to look forward to. But I think there's going to be a dedicated audience of players who are super excited for the story of Berserk Boy, and seeing the tale of Kai and his friends through to the end. Now, as I'm rounding out this review, I'm at the very tail end of my playthrough of Berserk Boy, currently collecting enough badges to find my way to the final boss. Or at least what I can only assume is the final boss. And I'm looking forward to putting a pin in this game and absolutely obliterating that big bad evil guy after probably dying 30 to 40 times beforehand. Thank you so much for watching my review of Berserk Boy. You can pick up the game for yourself when it releases on March 6th for Steam or Nintendo Switch. And though we don't have dates just yet, there are also plans for a PlayStation and Xbox version as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you're excited to hop into Berserk Boy on your favorite platform. Once again, a huge shout out to the Berserk Boy games team for hooking me up with an early key for the game so I could review it for you today. So, what do you think? Are you picking up Berserk Boy for yourself on launch? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this review and want to stick around for more awesome indie content, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.